So my name is Dan, this is Jenny. We actually started full-time overlanding about 6 weeks ago when we also took up a carpentry business behind us. Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Jenny. We ditched the corporate world to spend a year exploring.
And our goal is to get out and see all the incredible places and meet interesting people.
And maybe find a place to put roots down.
So join us as we explore both on and off the beaten path. Sometimes we'll be somewhere.
And sometimes nowhere.
Okay, well, hey everybody. So if you are watching this video, it's because you are considering overlanding full-time. Maybe you're daydreaming about it, or maybe you're planning on it. Maybe it's right around the corner.
You're the right place.
Yeah, you came to the right place. So I'm Dan, this is Jenny. We started full-time overlanding, the rig that you see behind us, about 6 weeks ago. And what we thought we would do is we would put together a quick video with some high points for anyone else that's considering it. So the first topic that we wanted to cover is really aligning on philosophies.
Yeah, this is super important to do before, because you don't want to just quit your jobs and get a new car and not have a plan that you guys are both aligned on.
Yeah, it's such a good point, because there's been multiple times over the last 6 weeks that we've actually gone back to these principles as really a reset for us to say, okay, cool, we said we were going to do this or act this way or do this thing. And so these are really important. So for us, what was important, the first thing was really where we wanted to be as we were overlanding. Both Jenny and I really love being far off the beaten path. We just love being out in the middle of nowhere. By ourselves under a starry sky with a campfire going. So how that impacted us is that then said, okay, well, if we're going to do that, then we need a rig that's fully capable to do that, which has certain limitations. Certain advantages, but also has certain limitations. That's our rig that you see right behind us. I'll put a link to the walkthrough video that we did on it. Now, what that meant was we didn't have the ability to do certain things, like
showering. So what was really important to me was, having the ability to take a shower every 3 to 5 days. Also get my nails done every 2 weeks, but that's just me being a girl.
Yeah, that's right. So that's the number 2 thing that we aligned on, was every 3 to 5 nights we're going to be somewhere where we can take a shower, bathe, and cleanse ourselves.
And every 2 weeks.
And every 2 weeks get the nails.
I get to do my nails. That's my girl thing.
That's exactly right. The third philosophy or approach that we aligned on was not planning too much, always being prepared, but not over planning. And what we mean by that is we didn't want to come into this and say, it's whatever, make up a date. It's March 1st, we need to be in this particular area by March 5th, and so that dictates what we're going to do. What we really said was, let's just plan maybe 3 to 5 days ahead.
Yeah, and one of the other things too is we know that every 3 months we're going to fly back to Charlotte to do, personal affairs, errands, and things like that.
But beyond that, we didn't want to have any really specific plans. For us, that works really well, but we wanted to be prepared. So what we actually did was we did a ton of research in specific areas that we were going to be, such that when we got into an area, we could say, cool, what are the sites we wanted to see or the hikes that we wanted to see? And that really allows us to be totally nimble and frankly, to work with the weather, which we'll get to in a little bit, which has served us well, and be prepared as we get into an area that maybe we weren't expecting to get into.
And I do want to give Dan credit. You went on Gaia and literally marked hundreds and hundreds of locations. So if we were in any certain area, or when we are in any certain area, there's always something that we can do.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so after we aligned on philosophy, then it was actually
execution.
Yeah, and ripping the Band-Aid off and actually doing it. And I know there were some things that you were nervous about as we started doing that.
About leaving corporate America. That's all I knew. And actually taking the leap and just saying I'm done was scary, because then you have to worry about health insurance. My home went from being a townhouse to the little box. Also, what scared me was not having a plan, because I am a planner. I've always been a planner. That's also something that I've been surprised with, is the fact that I can let go of the whole having a plan and just relax and go with the flow.
Yeah, so that.
What about you?
So that probably brings us to what we're surprised about, or what we're really enjoying right now, right?
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I think I was expecting it, but I've really been enjoying meeting all the other like-minded people that are living a similar life like this.
Yes.
We've met, whether it's in the backcountry or just by happenstance or on a hike or whatever it is, we've met so many really cool people that are doing the same thing, that have been doing it far longer than us.
Yeah.
but you sit there and have genuine conversations with people that you've never met before, and there's this instant connection. And I've really loved that.
People are
part of it.
friendly.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
friendly.
You might be very different, but yet you're the same.
Yeah. Yeah, and my scares are a little bit different. It more has to do with the vehicle. Because we're remote and because we're in the back country, really where my mind goes is, okay, what happens if we break down? What that's led me to do is make sure that we stay really up to date on the maintenance. Regularly, I do walk-arounds of the vehicle. I spend a lot of time really paying attention to the creaks and the squeaks and all the things that are in the Jeep. So
You also did a lot of preparation.
Yeah, we did a ton of preparation.
did.
yeah, for that.
I think another thing too is we've learned more about each other. I've learned more about you. I've learned more about our routines that we're getting into.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I should say as well is there's going to be hard days. You know, there's that saying, no bad days. It's total BS. There's going to be bad days, and we give each other permission to have bad days.
I have more bad days than he does.
Not true, but we give each other permission. So if we see the other person is having a bad day, we give them space.
And bourbon.
Or rum. And let them do that. But so that's another thing is just be prepared that you're going to have bad days.
So the number one surprise for the both of us, we can clearly agree, is the weather.
Yeah.
And the wind,
Yeah.
more specifically.
Yeah, that's right, Jenny. And so a lot of that also goes back to the philosophy, right? Which is we wanted to be off the beaten path, so we got the Jeep. So what do we have with that? We've got a tent up top. What does that mean? When it's windy or there's adverse conditions, you're kind of hosed. The weather would have affected us different if we, say, wanted to be in campgrounds more often or something like that, and we had something with hard sides. But that's also a consideration as you're choosing your philosophies and your rig and your vehicle is understand that that is going to have positives. For us, we can get anywhere. The negatives, when it's 40 plus miles an hour and it's 20 degrees out, you're going to be cold and you
might have to sleep in the front seat.
Yes, like we did. Yeah. Okay, so that brings us to what we're really enjoying about the last 6 weeks and about our new lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things I enjoy the most, and you probably agree with me, is just finding those little places off the beaten path, whether it be a hot spring or an antique store, just seeing something and saying, hey, let's stop and go take a picture of this. That's been so much fun for me. I'm really enjoying that.
Yeah, doing the spur of the moment things where you're just not living a schedule. That has been really fun. Yeah, and I think what I'm enjoying in addition to the people that we've been meeting is the contrast that this lifestyle has been so far and then what that means. So for instance, one night we had to sleep in the front seat of our Jeep because the wind was so bad, lightning storms, it was impossible to sleep up top. It was a miserable night. We didn't get much sleep because the wind like this.
Cue the wind.
Yeah, but then a few nights later, we were in the back country all by ourselves in this little area and there was zero wind, the sun was shining, and it was awesome. And I guarantee the contrast from that first night made that next night that much better.
And it makes nights like tonight where we have an Airbnb and it's going to be really windy and it's going to be nice to listen to the wind and hear the rain on the tin roof from indoors.
Yeah, that's right. And that pulls together a bunch of things. So the storms are coming up. Our philosophy was get a place every 3 to 5 nights. So we got a place here in time for the storm.
Yes.
So I guess to wrap then, right, we would say a couple of things for people that are considering this. Align on philosophies because you're going to go back to those and it helps you reset
Stick to them.
Yes, that's exactly right. Allow each other to have bad days because you're going to have them, right?
Yes.
And really for us, it is be prepared, but don't plan because whatever the plan is, it's going to change. It's just going to change, whether that's weather or whether it's a breakdown or whether it's whatever it happens to be. So be prepared and be ready to zig and zag because that's what it has been for us.
And do it. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, there's plenty of things to be scared of and reasons not to.
Yes.
Yeah.
You only have one life.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, that's right. So we hope that you enjoyed this video. Maybe it gave you a few things to think about as you are considering it or daydreaming about it. If you like this, we'd appreciate a like and a follow. Also, if this is the first video you've seen of ours, we'd love you to explore the channel. We've got a bunch of different stuff out there that I think will help you as you're considering this.
And if you have any questions, please send us a message.
Yeah, drop them in the chat. We're pretty active on answering any comments.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that good, Jenny?
That's good. The
Oh.
wind is getting ready to blow us away.
I know it is. But we better get inside before this rain
Yes.
and wind comes up. Okay. Thanks, everybody.